there, my name is Phillip Martin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And especially if you can hit the subscribe button, that really, really freaking helps me. And it definitely helps with these teeny tiny micro channels that YouTube, tolerates, but they don't help us out much. And if you can hit the like button as well, fantastic. One more thing would I say fantastic? I don't know. If you like Doctor Who, which I guess you do because you're here watching a Doctor Who video, I'm giving away sort of Doctor Who. I've been giving away Doctor Who for the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, I should say, while this season Doctor Who's running, season 12. We do the giveaways on Thursday. This week I got something really weird. Okay? Ta-da! Syl and the Devil Seas of Arodor. So this is a micro-budget independent production with Syl, the villain from Mind Warp and Vengeance on Varos. He's done a bunch of Big Finish productions. He's really good in it. It's Nabil Shaban. It's not bad. It's not great. It's interesting, and I found it worth watching. But I've watched it. You can now you can have it as well. Sophie Aldred's in it as well, playing a kind of sexy. I was going to say Romulan, but no, Draconian. I think Draconian. And what's his name? The guy Mike from the Young Ones, who was also a Sontaran. He was also in Mind Warp, I believe. Christopher Ryan. Christopher Ryan's also in it as well. The guy who played Lord Kiv is back, not so much in makeup. All you have to do to win it is leave the hashtag marshmallows. I'm going to put the description in the video notes. Fine! I have been watching Doctor Who, as I say every week. I've been watching it, so you don't have to. So this week was interesting. This week, I think, is the best Jodie Whittaker episode I've ever seen. It's not very good. It's not a good episode. It's the best one I've ever seen in that there is a core of about half an hour, 20 minutes of it that if you took it out and you put a different Doctor in, it will be pretty good. The villain is pretty good. So as I go through, go through the plot, I'm going to tell you there were good things. There were good things this week, but overall, it's awful. Don't watch this instead of watching Doctor Who because it freaking is painful. Tell you, it took me God knows how long to go through the thing and write the notes. So firstly, this week we changed policy again. Who knows why? And we have a cold opening. So this episode went down when the whole Chris Chibnall walking off rumor was going around. So could it have been the Pete McTeague episode that he helped? I really have no idea whatsoever. So, but it's different. They have a cold opening. It's much better for the cold opening, where it's set in Aleppo in 1380 in Syria, and there's we opens up. There's we open up to darkness. I forgot about that. With somebody saying, "Can you hear me?" Which I guess that's the way why they called the episode because there's nothing else really that has anything to do with "Can you hear me?" That is the name of the episode, isn't it? Once let check. Get those bland, forgettable crap. It doesn't even have it here. I think it's Can you hear me? Yeah, Can you hear me? So they have so it starts off black, and you just have a woman go, "Can you hear me?" And that's really it. That's the only thing that ties it to the title. And I can really think of. I mean, look, if something occurs to me as I go through it, I'll go, "Oh, that was it." So again, we're in Aleppo, 1830, and there is a woman running through the streets of Aleppo, and she makes it to this hospital stroke convent thing. I'm not really sure. I'm not really up on 1380 Aleppo. My sister probably is. She teaches. She's a professor that teaches classics, so she'll probably be able to tell me what the hell's going on. What it means talking to her about Doctor Who, and I don't really like talking. I don't really like talking about Doctor Who that much. Well, they do it quite a lot on this channel. That's why I have the channel, basically, so I don't have to scream. I can scream at you and the computer, and not at my family. And I'm sure you all have a similar experience when you watch Doctor Who or Star Trek, and you're just so angry that, oh my God, it's so awful, and you want to tell somebody about it. You start telling your wife or your kids, and you get this like glassy look, like yeah. So that's why this YouTube channel exists. So okay, so this woman's running through Aleppo. She makes it to this convent. She, "Please let me in, and they let her in, and they tell her when she's inside. This woman there says, her name is Tahira. She says, "We shouldn't be stealing things from the market, from the souk." And she's like, she says something. I didn't really catch it. I went over it a few times to try and hear it. It says, It's like she needs to. She needs to do it for her mental well-being. She needs to be a thief for mental well. Didn't they like cut their hands off in Aleppo in 1380 for doing that? I don't know, but like, how would your mental well-being there with a couple of stumps and not being able to do anything? Not so good would be my guess. Then she wants to be locked up, and they say, and the woman who's in this convent hospital place says, "Don't worry, nothing's going to happen." She says, "No, it's going to happen. I can feel it coming." And she says, "Just go to sleep. Everything will be well. You just need some sleep." And so she goes to bed, and of course, Tahira is completely right. It does come, whatever it is. There are these massive werewolf creatures that arrive that night, and they slaughter everybody there. And so we're done with the cold opening. Boom, we're into the awful titles. Yeah, playing underwater. You know, I before I watched this last night, I watched about 2 hours earlier. I watched Matt Smith's episode, the 11th hour, the first episode, because I had a theory, and I think the theory, I think I watching it confirm the theory. Well, firstly, it's so much better than the. I mean, oh my god, everything is so much better, but when Matt Smith burst onto the screen, I'm not sure which Audrey filmed it in. My guess is the 11th hour wasn't the first one he filmed. But when he burst onto the screen, he had spent, 6 months to a year researching, deeply researching the character and who the Doctor was. And boom, he was a Doctor. And you could see it through his performance, this incredible respect he had for the character and the role. You know, he was just so much respect for it that he could add to the legacy. And it really shines through in his performance. And I was thinking, that's the exact opposite of Jodie Whittaker. She has zero respect for the character, but she likes how the character is being used to glorify her, to magnify her. And you could just see it in the performance. Okay, so the terrible titles finish, and the titles aren't, the visuals aren't so bad. Music is awful. So the titles finish, and they are arriving back in Sheffield. I guess they film the TARDIS arriving and leaving all in that same spot for the entire season. And the Doctor says, "Okay, fam, we'll meet up tomorrow at lunchtime." And they all go off and reconnect with their lives, leaving the Doctor alone. And it turns out even the 13th Doctor doesn't like being alone with the 13th Doctor. She's really bored. And she just can't stand being alone. She just can't stand, being alone with herself. Which is, okay, I kind of get it. I can see why you don't want to be alone with yourself, because you're awful. So as she's there, she's talking to herself. This fantastic villain. This is the reason this episode wasn't as awful as they normally are. This fantastic villain appears and invades the TARDIS, and then disappears in a puff of smoke. And she follows it to Aleppo, 1380. So, okay, fine. So then we meet up with the companions, the fam. Fine. Yaz is meets with her sister, and she's realised she's missed a lot with her. Ryan is meeting up with his friend T-Bot. I thought it was his father at first, because it seemed to me like we were supposed to know what their relationship was and who was going on. And no, this is a completely new character. You've never seen him before. And, this entire backstory they built up, you're just supposed to accept straight away as if it's been built up for like years on end. Which is how they're playing it. They really played it like, oh yeah, you know who this guy is. You've never seen him before. So it really fails because there's like zero emotional connection to this character, whoever he may be. Graham is always pleasant to watch. Graham is the best thing about the show, and he's playing cards with his friends, and that's actually one of the best scenes. Fine, so the Doctor is chasing after this weird shadow invasion of the TARDIS, and she arrives in Aleppo. She arrives in the hospital convent place, and she can't cope without having an orgy. She's got to be what? She's so vain. She's such a virtue signaler. So she's talking to herself. Because she can't, because she needs people to talk to explain what's going on, so she can be, explaining. Now, this actually did work when the Doctor talked to himself without companion for one episode with Tom Baker 43 years ago, the first episode of The Deadly Assassin, and they said, it didn't really work, Tom, so much, so they moved on from that pretty darn quickly, and they gave him a temporary companion for that story, and then they brought in Leela in the next episode. Okay, so the Doctor meets Tahira. There's utter devastation, and she's crying, and she says, "Get out, everyone's slaughtered." And then she's saying, "Oh, everything's going to be okay." How do you know everything's going to be okay? Firstly, the indication not everything's going to be okay is you're in the freaking room and you're a disaster area, 13th Doctor. And then this the monsters show up from the pre-title sequence. Giant, okay, monster design good. Yeah, this is the thing that crushes me about this Doctor. Everything looks great. Everything looks as good or better than Doctor Who has ever looked before. It's just so wasted on this dreck. Oh, so bad. Fine. So this giant wolf monster shows up, and it's massive. It's like I don't know, 20 feet tall. Massive thing. Giant claws. And of course, the Doctor doesn't know what the monster is or what's going on, because this Doctor never knows what's going on. Then the monster runs away because he's obviously scared of a small blonde woman, and oh yeah, the other thing, the woman playing Tahira. Clearly not from Aleppo, 1380. She looks like she's played by somebody from Scunthorpe. She doesn't have. I guess if you're doing colourblind casting, it should go both ways. So I guess that's what this is. So fine. So the Doctor chases up after the monster to see what it is, and the monster's vanished. And she sonics for a reason. Like again, when she uses sonic, it looks like she's watering her garden. I don't know what I'm doing. So by this time, I kind of worked out what was going on. But Jodie Whittaker's Doctor was like, "Oh, I don't know. What can it be? They don't exist." So she couldn't get any readings for the monster, and she's very confused. As I said, I literally worked it out at this point. We're about 5 minutes in. Back at the farm, we have Graham is playing cards, and he has this weird vision in the middle playing cards. For no apparent reason. I mean, I guess it was all orchestrated by the bad guy. Of these two planets that are like crushing against each other, and this little orb between them, and there's a woman, and you don't really know what's going on. The woman looks like she's being held prisoner. Ryan's friend is not doing well, and again, they want to keep flashing up on the screen that the theme of this week is mental health. Mental health week this week. Mental health. That's what they say. Oh, it's like, really? That's as subtle as it is. In the pre-title sequence, they had the Tahira say, "I need to do this for my mental health. It's for my mental health." So Ryan is worried about his friends' mental health. He's worried about his mental health because everything is dirty in the apartment, and it's like he's normally quite neat, and he doesn't want to talk about it. And he's been having nightmares, and he says he keeps seeing the villain, the bad guy that we've seen earlier. Villain, still very good, still like the villain. In his nightmares, and he's seen them in his waking life as well. And he wakes up and sees the villain in his bedroom, the bad guy. Honestly, if I wake up and see somebody in my bedroom, I mean, after then literally defecating in my bed, I'm going to be like, "Hello, who are you?" You would inquire. But no, apparently not. So Yaz is having lunch with his sister, and it's some sort of anniversary of something bad, and you can't really work out what it is. Yaz falls asleep on the couch after dinner, and we hear the sound of somebody making a call. I think it's a flashback, and he's the person saying, "Hi, I didn't know who to call. I've just worked out what the hell this was all about." I had to take fastidious notes on this whole episode to remember what went on. Hi, I didn't know who to call, and I need help. So we cut to Yaz. She's having a dream. She's on a lonely country road in the middle of nowhere, stretching out miles in both directions. And then there's a creepy-looking policewoman there as well. And her sister, maybe? It could be a sister. There's another woman there. I really don't know. I mean, again, you were supposed to know who these people are after seeing them for like 10 seconds. I don't know. I don't know who it is. Yaz wakes and she sees the villain in the room. And then the villain vanishes with a puff of smoke. And the villain then appears in where Ryan's friend is sleeping. And then, oh God! Oh! I would love to be in the conference room when the writer's room when somebody came up with this idea. The villain holds up his hands and goes, that's how subtle it is. And his fingers like fly off, and one of them flies over to Ryan's friend and plants itself in his ear. This villain should be called Wet Willie, obviously. Again, I want to be in that conference room when a grown man stands up and says, "Yes, I've got it. We're gonna have the villain's fingers fly off and stick in somebody's ear," and then Trish Kidnall goes, "That's it. You've got it. That's what we're gonna do," and they got excited. I would love to see that in real life. Fine. So the finger gets sucked and gets in his ear, and he's sucking some kind of thing out of his ear. You don't know what it is. Then Ron comes in and catches him like the plank of wood. Who is, "Hello, oh you there? What's going on?" Like, is there any he has no emotional range, this guy at all, Tosin Cole. I'm really intrigued to see what he's going to be like in this American show next year. Because they say you can't polish a turd, so I guess we're going to find out. Fine, so the doctor is running around with Tahira in Aleppo, and she says, "Don't worry, you're safe. No one's going to hurt you." How does she know? She doesn't know she's safe. No one is safe with you, Jodie Whittaker, 13th Doctor. No one, because I don't trust her at all. So the fam all get in contact with the doctor. They call her. The doctor's got a mobile now, apparently. And they say they've all been having like these weird encounters and bad dreams. So in the TARDIS, Tahira and the fam all confer together. The doctor scans some of the creature's fur from like the monster, and of course the doctor doesn't understand what's going on. She's like, "But the TARDIS said that that this doesn't exist. There's no such thing. But there is. It's in my hand. I don't understand." Ooh, okay. This one I'm literally screaming at the screen like, "It's an imaginary creature from somebody's mind!" Well, how do I know that? Because we're dealing with mental health issues. Mental health is the theme. With all that subtlety. So fine. So to find the location of where Graham has this vision of these two planets, they're going to use a TARDIS telepathic circuit. Although there was a good line. Good line alert. Good line alert. Graham says she asks Graham, could you tell me where the planets are? Do you know it? Like, really, you idiot? Why would you think you know where the planets are? He's a bus driver from 20th century Earth. He doesn't know red and blue planet, whatever. He doesn't recognize planets off the top of his head. So he says, "You know what? If you get me an A to Z of the universe," the A to Z, by the way, is a map book of London that all taxi drivers know off the back of the they know by heart. So you get me an A to Z of the universe, I'll be able to stick my finger in it and I'll point to. Nah, not at all. And so they use the TARDIS mental circuits to scan his brain, and it takes them to a space station. It's called an observer space station. And yay, we're actually off Earth. Oh my god, is this the first episode we're off Earth this year? I can't remember. You know what? I was going to go look over the other episodes, but who cares? Although the space station design very good. And the set design, I also think very good. Yeah, again, utterly wasted on this Doctor. Also wasted on this Doctor. If you've seen the design of the new Cybermen, look freaking awesome. These Cybermen look fantastic. I do hope they have the costumes left over for after this show has been cancelled and is in the dirt for years, and somebody comes on and says, "No, let's make a new Doctor Who," and they can use these costumes again. They look freaking awesome. Fine. So they're in this observer ship. And they're right next to these two planets that are like colliding next to each other, and they're being held apart by a small little orb. And inside the orb, I think is the girl from Ryan's vision. So they find so they're on the spaceship, they're on the space station, and they see there's lots and lots of the fingers of the villain's fingers, like all hanging up, and they're all transmitting something to the orb. So the Doctor works out, okay, spoiler alert, she's going to get it wrong. Because of course she's getting it wrong, because she's the Doctor. Oh, yeah, this is the other thing. When the Doctor works anything out, she does breathless acting. Oh, and it's going to be, and they're going to come from here. Oh, no, she's freaking awful! Oh my god! She is so out of her depth in this role. So, they work out the fingers are transmitting to the orb, and they think they're like, torturing the woman inside the orb if they... I can't remember if that's the order things happen, but roughly, okay? So Tahir goes wandering off and exploring while this is going on, and she finds the bad guy. Again, freaking awesome bad guy. Played by the guy from Game of Thrones, Tywin Lannister's brother. Just put him next to any other Doctor, and I am on board. Big Finish should like bring him out and put him against McGann or literally anybody. He's pretty good. So she finds the bad guy, and there's also like this glass cage with a werewolf monster in it. And so the bad guy says, "Do you recognize the monster?" And he says that you should do because it's made from her worst fears, and a bit of his own creativity. And also there's lots of people entombed in like these, I don't know, look like bull cubbies. Yeah, they're like trapped in there. All of them have a I think fingers in their ears. I think. So then the fam comes in, the Doctor comes in, and they confront the bad guy, and he holds up his hands, the fingers fly off. I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. His fingers fly off, and they fly at the camera, and then poof, splat. Suddenly we're in over his dreams. We cut to Yaz's dream again. This is literally my third time going over this episode. I finally understand what's going on. The girl who is her sister tells her to run and says no one's coming, and she's all alone in the dark, and I just not really nice things. And then I think she wakes up a little bit, and Yaz, Ryan, and Graham have been captured. Fingers in their ears, sucking away something or other. In Ryan's dream, his old friend his friend is now old, and he's surrounded by fire, and everything's burning. And he says, "Well, what happened to you? We were waiting for you." And like we waited. I said, "How long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting?" He said, "All my life." And then everything's burning, and because we were with the world's being destroyed because he wasn't there. And all of a sudden, the monsters from Orphan 55, these awful monsters from Orphan 55 shall go, "Rah, rah," and we cut away. And then we're into Graham's dream. Graham's dream is actually frightening. Graham has his dead wife in it, and the wife is a nurse saying his cancer's come back. Okay, that's really terrifying. Finally, okay, but again, it's connected with Graham. I think Graham can sell these terrible scripts and these terrible lines. Fine. And so, the wife's like, "Why did you let me die? You're bad, white man. White men bad. And again, they're all a bit shaky from these nightmares because I think they're talking about mental health! Mental health! They're bringing attention to their mental health. So the Doctor is alone on the space station now. And she's waving a Sonic around again like she's watering the plants. And she works out that the orb between the two planets is locked with this super lock with encryption that changes like every nanosecond. And the she meets a creepy bad guy. He's called Zelin. And he was supposed to be a god. I can't stand it when they say, "Oh my god, he's a god." No, he's not a god. He's just very powerful. He's an immortal. Sort of like the Celestial toy maker, and they do name check him. This again, he's really good in these scenes. He mentions the Guardians and the Eternals and the Celestial toy maker, and said people live in eternity. We just got to play our games. And so he's been extracting the nightmares from the scared and vulnerable and forcing them onto the girl in the orb. So as also the Doctor thinks. So he's a supervillain, and he completely outclasses the Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Yeah, he's just an actor of a completely different caliber altogether. And of course, he outsmarts her because the Doctor then frees the woman from the orb, thinking, "Oh, well, she's a woman and she's being held prisoner. He's a man, so obviously, that she's a victim." And it turns out no, she was completely wrong. Of course, she's wrong. That the bad guy Zelin isn't really the big bad. The big bad is the woman, the lady boss who from the orb. She's super bad, and he's like her servant. He's been and they've been toying around with mortals for all eternity. So then she's like, "Doctor doesn't understand. I don't understand." And she doesn't understand. I mean, really? Oh, I'm not exaggerating. Orville the Duck would be better than this Doctor. I'll try and find a picture of Orville the Duck to flash up what I'm saying there for Orville the Duck would be a better picture. YouTube for all the Duck. She would totally be a better. He or she, whatever it is, would be a better Doctor than this one. So then it gets weird. if you don't think it's got weird, then it gets weird. There's this really bad animated info dump explaining what's going on. So the Zelin and the lady boss, whatever her name was, are two immortals, and they'd be toying around with mortals, and so they take these two planets next to each other, and they have a competition to see which one can make their planet be destroy itself first. So they make these wars and environmental disasters, and like just everything that the Chris Chibnall thinks he's scared about. Well, he thinks he's scared about the carbon footprint while he's flying around on private jets. Yeah, so and they're trying to see which one will destroy the planet first. But the people get the people on the planets finally work it out, and they band together and they unite, and they come up with this really insane plan of they get their planets and they make them like smash together and to hold the one of these immortals in a little orb. That's basically from Graham's vision. And because the planets are smashing together, it holds them there for all time. The other guy goes and says he's going to try and find a way to save his companion, and which is basically what happened. So the Doctor wakes up and she's captured, of course. And he said, and the bad guy now has rescued the girl, which is all he really wanted. He needs somebody from this universe to be able to break the lock for reasons. I guess it made sense at the time. And so because the lady boss liked all the nightmares, she wants to go to Earth and like eat all of them. As they tell them the space station is about to blow up, and as they leave, the guy's fingers fly off, and one flies at the Doctor, and she gets a wet willy in her ear. Oh dear. So on Earth, they prepare to gorge themselves on all the nightmares of the humans. So I'm thinking, well, what's the downside of that? It just means no one's going to have any nightmares anymore. I guess it's not so bad, okay. So we cut to the Doctor's having a nightmare. She's dreaming of the timeless child, and we get to see a little bit more of that. And who cares? It's I guess they're going to explain it, and I won't care because this to me is not Doctor Who. I'm so emotionally detached from this thing. If it wasn't for this channel, I would not be making it. I wouldn't be watching it. If it wouldn't make me make these videos, I would not be watching it. So the Doctor wakes up. Oh God, yeah, so stupid. The Doctor wakes up and she's tied up. And she moves herself to open up a jacket, and somehow she uses like a false pull thing to like make the sonic screwdriver jump from a pocket up to her hand, so she can sonic her way out unconvincingly and break out the fam. The fam all have fingers in their ears, and I tell you, the finger thing doesn't work. It just it's not good. It's not intimidating. It's not fun. It's not funny. Yeah, it's not good at all. I think they're probably trying to do something like Russell T Davies was trying to do with the Slovene farting, or like making the wheelie bins into a Alton in that first episode. But yeah, it might work in school playgrounds. But I doubt it's going to work because nobody's watching the show. Oh, by the way, newsflash: the ratings just came in, 3.81 million, which means the average bump they get from the 7 screen and the 4 screen consolidated and all that stuff is 1.22 million. So if that follows that pattern, this will be significantly the lowest rated episode ever. Of the reboot series. It might be the lowest episode of ever. And there's a reasonably good chance that last week's episode. I was going to say the episode name, but I can't remember what it was because none of these things matter and they're all bland and boring. Last week got 3.97, so it's a good chance that they're not going to they're going to get under 5.12. Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. That's tomorrow's video. Fine. Yeah, so nobody's playing this in the playground because nobody's watching this track. Fine. So where are we up to? So the Doctor wakes up and frees all the fam and Ryan, and Ryan explains to his friend where they are, and Ryan's friend's there, and Tahira's there. The Doctor explains that Tahira created the werewolf monsters. And then the Doctor has an idea. She's so amazed with herself. And she's so proud of herself when she has an idea. She just loves... I'll tell you, I'll say this about the 13th Doctor. She really freaking loves herself. She loves herself a whole hell of a lot. Fine. So I think we're nearly done with it. So fine. On Earth, the lady boss is the guy. First, the guy says, "Let's just eat everybody right away. Eat everybody's nightmares right now." And she's like, "No, we can make this last for an eternity if we eke it out slowly." And so then the bad guy starts appearing in like lots of kids' bedrooms and making them have nightmares. And the lady boss starts sucking in all the nightmares onto her, and she looks like she's having a great time. Then Zelin, the bad guy, senses the werewolf monster has been moved from the space station and is in Aleppo 1380 once again, and the lady boss wants to see. So they go there. And the Doctor confronts them. Oh, God, she's so freaking awful. She's so smug and awful. She says, he says, "How did you get here?" She said, "Well, I'm just a little bit smarter." Then he thought, "No, you're not. You're not smarter than anybody thought. You're a dummy. You're a dummy, 13th Doctor." Yeah, just honestly, that's too much of a leap of logic to get over. That she is too good. Yeah, she's smarter than anybody thought. So then the Doctor does a bit of lecturing. Oh, she loves a bit of lecturing. This Doctor, and she says how wonderful humans are. Doesn't really mean it. Doesn't sell the line at all. Fine, and then she gets Tahira to show Tahira can control the werewolf by conquering her fear. The Doctor then uses a bunch of the fingers that she took from the space station, and she uses this really cringy joke, said, "Thanks for the helping hand," when she sends the fingers to them. Boom, they get caught in the air. All this happens really fast. You can't really work out what's going on. It took me 3 times going over it before I finally worked out what was really happening. The Doctor waves the Sonics around again, aimlessly, doesn't know what she's doing, and zaps them back into the orb, so they're trapped forever with their nightmares. And the episode's over. But there's 10 minutes to go. there's literally 10 minutes to go. So then they spend the next 10 minutes talking about mental health awareness. That is the theme. Mental health. They spend a lot of time talking about that. Ryan tells his friend, who he's so close with that we never heard of before, that he's going to leave again. But his friend is going to go get himself some help, and he goes to a group to talk about it. Then we go back to this weird scene from 3 years ago, where on the road, where Yaz was, and Yaz is okay. Firstly, Amanda Gill's like what, 32, and it says 3 years ago. That would make her what? Okay, even if she's 30, make her 27. She's supposed to be in school right now, so she's running away. The phone call that we heard earlier was her sister calling the police because she's worried that Yaz is going to kill herself because, I don't know, she's being bullied at school and her grades have fallen or something. I don't know. And yeah, it just doesn't work because it's the same thing with Ryan's friend. It's a completely artificial, made up backstory. If you wanted to see this over a year or so, over a few episodes, yes, it would have worked. But you can't just say, "Oh, by the way, she was nearly suicidal 3 years ago, and her sister sent a policewoman over to help her." The policewoman makes a deal with her that if she waits 3 years and it doesn't get any better, she'll give her 50 quid, and if not, she'll give her 50p. So Yaz then goes to see the policewoman in the present day, gives her 50p, and they have a nice bit of bonding time. Although one they know each other, isn't Yaz the bestest policewoman ever? Back in the TARDIS, Graham confesses to the Doctor that he's scared of the cancer coming back from his dream, and he wants some comfort, he wants some inspirational comfort from the Doctor to tell her something that will uplift him. And she doesn't. She's like, "Oh, I can't think what to say," and she goes to the TARDIS and starts pressing buttons. "I'll think of something in a minute," and she does. It's literally the writer saying, "I couldn't think." The writer said, "Doctor says something inspirational," and they couldn't think of anything inspirational to say. That's literally, I think, what happened. Also in the TARDIS is Ryan and Yaz, and Ryan's not happy. He's like, "Oh, how long is this going to last for?" He's not happy, missing out on his friends' lives and being out of sync with everyone. And the Doctor says, "Oh, let's go and visit Frankenstein." It's like a lead-in for the Mary Shelley episode next week, which will contradict the Big Finish Mary Shelley three stories. The Iron Turk, I think. They're from 2011. They're pretty good. Paul McGann stories. That's canon. This isn't. This is garbage. Leave it alone. And if you're wondering, what's next? Is next week going to be a good story? Is it going to be a good one or not? Well, let's look at the preview image from it, shall we? Let's have a look. Yeah, really. Look at that. Just look at that. How convincing does that look? You know, just no. The only upside is there's only 3 weeks to go. Only 3 weeks of this dross to go, and I never have to hear about this. Well, I'm not going to have to hear about it for another year. Hopefully, the ratings in Freefall will give them a reason to get out. I mean, I think they've already filmed her regeneration episode, which they might play on New Year's Day. I don't know. Hopefully, these insanely bad ratings. Oh my God, this has been 35 minutes. Basically, okay, the episode was 15 minutes. I saved you 15 minutes. You're welcome. My name is Phillip Martin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, subscribe. If you like the episode, again, I thought this was the best Jodie Whittaker episode there's been so far. If you like the episode, tell me in the chat. Tell me in the comments. That we disagree is fine. It's okay. It's fine to disagree about things. It's okay. We can still like each other and we can still be friends. If you want to come on and do a live stream together, that's fine. If you want to do a video together, that's fine. Like we all love Doctor Who. That's the bottom line. We all love Doctor Who. Oh, and also don't forget, if you want to win this weird little oddity, Syl and the Devil's Thieves of Arodor, then don't forget the hashtag marshmallows. Oh, and if you are the viewer, nameless entity, you won this. A far better box set, I think. The complete David Tennant special, but you haven't got in contact with me yet to tell me where to send it. And everybody else, I haven't mailed everything out yet. I'm mailing it out. I got envelopes. Okay, my son just went. He was home from the army for a few days. He went to the post office. He got me envelopes. I'm packing them up today. They're going in the mail in the next day or so, okay? But they're all on the way to you. And we actually have a lot more DVD giveaways to come. We're going to do the complete third series, I think, next week. Or maybe I'll save that for the season finale. My name is Phillip Martin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, you can hit that subscribe button. That really freaking helps me an insane amount. And if you can hit the like button, again, that really helps me. And I'm genuinely appreciative of it. If you, again, any comments you want to say, I will endeavor to reply to you forthwith. Thank you for listening and have yourself a fantastic day. And you probably will do because you didn't have to watch Doctor Who because I watched it for you. Thanks so much. My name's Phillip Martin.